Samsung's next Ultra phone could be about to cross a very uncomfortable line. Not because of one weird feature, not because of a cosmetic redesign, but because the Galaxy S27 Ultra may reportedly cost $200 more than the S26 Ultra. And if this rumor is even close to accurate, Samsung isn't just refreshing its flagship lineup next year. It could be reshaping the entire ladder of what a Galaxy phone costs. There's been no shortage of Galaxy S27 leaks recently, especially around a possible major visual overhaul for the top model. But this new report is bigger than a camera bump or a new color. It points to 4 phones, a new Pro tier, different display technology between the premium models, a possible split between Snapdragon and Exynos chips, and an Ultra that may be getting positioned as the no-compromises option at an even more premium price. So let's break down what's being claimed, what it could mean, and why you absolutely should not treat any of this as final just yet. At a reported $1,299 starting point. In other words, the Pro could fill the space below the new Ultra, while giving Samsung room to push the Ultra further upward. And that's actually huge, because it changes the conversation from, is the Ultra expensive, to how much extra do you need to spend for the absolute best version. According to this leak, the regular S27 and S27 Plus would begin at the same levels as their predecessors. The Ultra, meanwhile, could jump by $200 over the S26 Ultra. That's a serious increase for a single generation, even in a world where premium phone parts are getting more costly. Now, there's a possible business explanation behind that move. Building a 4th model gives Samsung a cleaner way to separate the Pro and Ultra, rather than making the Ultra look like the only high-end choice. If component costs are rising, Samsung may be trying to protect its margins without forcing every buyer into a higher price bracket. The base models stay familiar, the Plus remains the bigger version, the Pro becomes the premium mainstream pick. Then the Ultra becomes the device for people who want every last upgrade. But here's the thing though, a more expensive Ultra only makes sense if the hardware gap becomes obvious. And based on the rumor, Samsung may be planning exactly that. The S27 Ultra is said to feature a 200-megapixel main camera, a 50-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 50-megapixel 5x telephoto camera. That 5x lens matters. It would give the Ultra a more capable long-range camera setup than the Pro is expected to receive. The S27 Pro could reportedly use the same 200-megapixel main shooter and the same 50-megapixel ultra-wide as the Ultra. On paper, that would already make it feel seriously high-end. But the zoom system may be where Samsung draws the line. The Pro is rumored to get a 3x telephoto camera with a 12-megapixel sensor instead. So think about it this way. The Pro may cover your everyday photos, ultra-wide shots, and closer zoom really well, while the Ultra keeps the stronger dedicated hardware for subjects farther away. Show camera comparison graphic. That's a much more deliberate distinction than simply giving one phone a bigger screen. And it could make the Ultra's price hike easier for Samsung to justify, at least on a spec sheet. Whether it feels worth it in real life depends on image processing, camera consistency, and how much you personally use zoom. A 5x camera sounds great, but not everyone needs it every day. The display could be another major separator. The Ultra is rumored to get Samsung's M16 E7 with OLED panel, while the Pro may use a standard M16 panel. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. The report claims that E7 OLED technology is 20% more power efficient than the standard version. In plain English, it could help the Ultra use less energy while displaying the same kind of content, which may contribute to better endurance or give Samsung more flexibility with brightness and battery tuning. That doesn't automatically mean the Pro display would be bad. Far from it. It would still reportedly use an M16 OLED panel, which is clearly intended to be premium hardware. But this is Samsung potentially reserving its best screen technology for the Ultra, just like it may reserve the more advanced zoom camera for that model. When you stack those differences together, the Ultra starts to look less like a bigger Pro and more like a separate class of phone. Building on that idea, there could be physical compromises on the Pro too. Earlier reports suggest it may be a little more compact than the Ultra, and may not support the S Pen. A smaller phone usually means less internal space, and less space can mean a smaller battery. The rumor also points toward 45W charging on the Pro versus 60-watt charging on the Ultra. Again, neither one is automatically a deal breaker. But it's another way Samsung could make the Ultra feel like the all-in device for people who don't want to choose between size, battery, charging cameras, display tech, and stylus support. The processor story could be just as important. The S27 Pro and S27 Ultra are expected to use Qualcomm's upcoming top-tier chip worldwide, reportedly called the Snapdragon 8 Elite Extreme Gen 6. The leaked model number is SM8975, and it's said to be built using TSMC second-generation 2nm process, known as N2P. That manufacturing process is important because shrinking components can improve both speed and efficiency, though as always, the final phone experience depends on Samsung's cooling and software optimization too. The rumored chip configuration is wild: 2 top-performance cores running at 5.01 GHz, 3 more at 4.03 GHz, and another 3 at 3.74 GHz. It's also said to include the Adreno 850 graphics processor. A previous claim from the same source suggested the GPU would have 18 megabytes of dedicated graphics memory and a major performance gain over the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. Those are very early details, but if they hold up, Samsung's Pro and Ultra could be incredibly powerful for gaming, camera processing, and demanding multitasking. Meanwhile, Qualcomm is also rumored to be preparing a regular Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 that sits below the Extreme version. But the bigger twist may be on Samsung's own side. The Galaxy S27 and S27 Plus are expected to use the Exynos 2700, built on Samsung Foundry's second-generation 2nm SF2P process. And Samsung reportedly believes this chip can beat the Snapdragon 8 Elite Extreme Gen 6 in both performance and energy efficiency. That is a bold claim. If Samsung can genuinely deliver that result, the usual Snapdragon versus Exynos conversation could get very interesting next year. But it's still a claim, not a benchmark result. Until these chips are officially announced and tested in actual phones, there's no reason to declare a winner. Now zoom out for a second. The standard Galaxy S27 and S27 Plus may be the least surprising models in the group, and that might be intentional. They're rumored to share the same M16 OLED display and the same camera system, a 50-megapixel main sensor, 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and 10-megapixel 3x zoom camera. The Plus would continue to be the larger option, likely differentiated by screen size, battery capacity, and faster charging, rather than a dramatically different camera package. That strategy is familiar, but with a Pro now sitting above them, it could make the lineup easier to understand. Want the normal flagship experience? Get the S27. Want more screen and battery? Get the S27 Plus. Want premium cameras and flagship-level extras without going all the way to ultra pricing? The Pro may be the answer. Want the best display, stronger zoom, potentially bigger battery, faster charging, S Pen support, and Qualcomm's highest tier chip? That's where Samsung wants the Ultra to live. Still, these are early rumors about phones that are months away from launch. The camera specs have appeared before, but repetition doesn't turn a leak into confirmation. Pricing can change. Components can change. Samsung can alter the lineup, adjust regional chip plans, or make last-minute decisions based on manufacturing costs and competition. So don't panic buy an S26 Ultra, or write off the S27 Ultra based on this alone. But if this report is pointing in the right direction, Samsung's 2027 strategy is becoming clear. More choice at the top, sharper differences between models, and a much more expensive Ultra designed to make every other Galaxy look like the sensible option. Let me know which one you choose. The more balanced S27 Pro, the full send Ultra, or would a $200 increase push you away entirely? Drop your take in the comments. Hit like if you want more Galaxy S27 leak breakdowns, and subscribe because the moment these specs get clearer, we're diving straight back in. Goodbye.